Okay, so this is part 2 of annotating an article. I stopped the recording accidentally, so far we got to putting your table number, your name, the date that it's due, numbering the paragraphs, so you physically have to count and number them. It makes it easier to ask people to read or to refer to where a detail is or a vocabulary word. Step number 2, do a close read of the article and make notes in the margins. So that's where we were starting. These were the tips that I had for you. Mark your confusion. So if you have any questions, write the question. Purposefully annotate. Give any responses that you have. Connect to what it is. Give opinions. Underline main ideas and write your connections, thoughts, and reactions. So same thing again, except this is more for key details. Pick out, if you had to write a summary, what would need to be included. Complete the writing task at the end of the article. So we're at annotating. So we read the first paragraph and now 2. Many claim to have a simple formula on how to evaluate a person's character. When you hear their opinions on it, it is clear that they form the basis of their opinion on only a single issue. This is wrong because, so I'm going to underline that, wrong, because the sum of a person is not whether they make no mistakes in judgment. Instead, it is the quantity, how much, and quality, how good it is, or how big they are, of those mistakes. A person could otherwise live an upstanding life. Not everyone will know what upstanding is, so box it. Be very moral and very good in so many ways, and yet be guilty of a personal failing on a single issue. So when you come across a word that you don't know, you can stop and look it up. You can try to figure it out using context clues, or if worse comes to worse, you can ask me. But even better, ask your phone. A person could otherwise live an upstanding life, be very moral and very good in so many ways. So I think upstanding is something good, right? It actually does mean, it means honest and respectable. Okay. 4. Many people view the act of participating in infidelity. Some people might not know what that is. For sake of time, I'll tell you. It is being unfaithful. So it's unfaithfulness. So a serious and unforgivable act of selfishness and an egregious, that's a big word. Egregious, I like to give simple definitions, so obviously wrong. If someone commits an act that is ridiculously wrong, it's egregious. Egregious moral failing. No one would argue that Martin Luther King Jr. was a man with an upstanding character, an inspiration to us all. His commitment to nonviolence and pursuit of social justice remains to this day an outstanding example of someone we should emulate. There's another good word. So you might guess it means to respect, or you might guess it means to be inspired by, but in this case it means to copy. So it's someone we should try to be like him. Yet this same man was guilty of having multiple affairs. Would we discount all the other work this man has done simply because he was unfaithful to his wife? So I have a problem with this. So I would say simply, that's not a small mistake. But on the other hand, no, I agree. You can't discount, which would mean to say that none of the other good things he did mattered. It still matters. So I understand what they're saying. They're saying if you judge someone based on one mistake or one part of their character, it can't override all the good that they do. So your job would be to keep reading and keep annotating. I'll give you a sneak peek of another one that I did. So these are my annotations. I underlined things that I thought were important, but even more than that, I use a lot of notes. And I know you can't read it, but that's okay, because I really don't want you to copy what I wrote. I want you to think and write what you think. So for instance, without going back to read the article, I can tell you that you can be a great person but still have one weakness. I can tell you paragraph 4 was about Martin Luther King's, his one failing, moral failing. 5 was about how you shouldn't judge just one criteria but many. 6 was about how many of us are selfish. 7 was about how many of us suffer from too much pride. Number 8 was about the importance of honesty in your moral character. Number 9, and I connected to that because I know someone like this who believes his own lies, and it's my brother. This one, number 9, I like the part about how they say you can judge a person by how they treat people less fortunate. So just to give you an idea, so you can see that my notes are helping me. If I have to write a summary, I don't have to read the whole article again. I know the main idea of every paragraph. After you finish annotating, there are 2 writing assignments, which we'll get to.